How the hell are you doing? It's been a little while since you seen my ugly mug, isn't it?
What's up, guys? Been a long time. I haven't been on the YouTubes in quite a long time. Life's been crazy to say the least, but I'll start off like I used to. It's 9:44 in the morning. It's the 27th of March, and it's 1 degree outside. Hooray! Not too bad. It's an early spring day. There's lots of birds outside, hopping around, eating worms and that. But just here with my puppy dog. He's sleeping away. He's doing good. He's a little sore. He hurt his leg the other day. He's been limping a little bit, but he'll be all right.
That's nothing new for him. But there's a lot new for me. Definitely things have changed a lot since I was talking to you guys last. The biggest thing being actually, unfortunately, my father passed away here back in January. So that's really changed things for me in a lot of ways. We were really close. I spent a lot of time there. So, you know, that's really flipped my life upside down, so to say. Things are pretty tough too, otherwise, that wasn't prepared for this at all. Dad had debt that I'm going to have to take on now to keep the property, or sell the property to pay off the debt. So I'm going to try to keep the property, hopefully. The one that I show most of my videos in, the off-grid property, that place. But yeah, so things have changed a lot. But some other things, you know, some for the good, you know. Obviously, some aren't so good, like people dying and other things. But I'm still living here in my house. Me and the woman are still together, which is good. Puppy dog's been pretty good. He did actually get sick there. Back in the fall it was. Pretty bad. He got toxic plasmosis, I think they call it. And he got into some moldy cucumber. And he got all drunk. It was actually pretty funny because basically we had to take him, put him in the drunk tank for the night. But he wasn't too happy about that, let me tell you. He don't like being left alone, that's for sure. But luckily he was fine, and the bill wasn't even all that bad. It could have been. Like they were saying, it was going to be like $600, and, you know, I mean, it's your dog. He's a family member, so I'd pay it no matter what, but luckily I paid like a $300 deposit, and they actually gave me a bunch of money back, which surprised the shit out of me. But anyways, I got to get some shoes on, go out to the garage, and I'll give you guys some more updates here once I'm all suited up.
Alright, well, some new things to show you. One, the screen door. I didn't have a screen door in my last videos. When I went through this door, you might have noticed that, I don't know. But this one's pretty nice. It's actually got the screen is built into the top here. See, you grab this thing, and I don't even know how it works, but you like pull it or push it or something, and it comes down and the screen rolls out of the top. It's pretty cool. I got a new vehicle. Got rid of the tracker and picked this baby up. I got a really good deal on it. It's a 2011 four-wheel drive, floor shift, 4.8 liter. But she's got some little bit of rust here and there, but it's just really the paint's just flaking. I got to get that fixed up before it sets in bad. And there was definitely some damage back here in the back of the box. I'm not exactly what the hell happened. I tried to figure it out. It's almost the exact same damage on both sides. The tailgate was really rough. Up here's all hammered in. You can kind of see all big scratches. I don't know what the hell they were doing to it. But yeah, this side as well, you can see that it's all dented, kind of similarly to the other side. So I'm not sure what they did there. Actually, right there, you can see I was using rim paint just to see how close to a match it is. Better than rust, but it doesn't match the best. This truck was filthy inside when I got it. It's not the cleanest anymore now, but especially because my dog. But it is actually amazingly a lot cleaner. You might not think it, but if you saw this thing, there was just coffee everywhere, all over everything. Fucking gross. But oh yeah, I also did LED lights I put up in there. I did a bunch of work to this already. Well, the girlfriend actually, she sewed the seat. There's big hole in the seat here, and that side of the seat was all ripped open, so she sewed that. I cleaned it, I put new door speakers in. It's kind of chilly. What else did I do? I put new plugs, wires, and air filter in it. I straightened the bumper out when I got it. The bumper over here bent right in against there, so I pushed that out, quarter power. The exhaust was all bent, one of the hangers was broke. I fixed that as well. The back rack wasn't on there. It had a shitty old cap that was in really rough shape on the back, so I replaced that as well. Needless to say, I've had some work I've been doing. And then since my dad passed away, I ended up with his old car. So I got this Yaris now, and I'll tell you, I'm good on gas, and it works pretty good for a little 1.5 liter. I'm pretty impressed by it, to be honest. But it's a good little car. It's not in too bad a shape. There's a little bit of rust starting here and there, but nothing too bad. The old lawn tractor, well, it's been through the war back. As you can see, the hood's all dented to shit there. But she still works. I started it up the other day and brought her out. Alright, now the mess. The great mess it is. So, let's see. I never showed you that generator before, I don't think. That used to be at my father's. Used to be his. Great little generator. Bought it for almost $275, I think, for Canadian Tire, like 5 years ago. And the thing still runs like a champ and works really well. It's a 4,000 starting watts, 3,000 maximum watt, it says. And there's me old wheeler. And you can probably remember I did my 2000 Kodiak video a while back. We probably don't remember. Hell, most of you probably didn't even see it. But that's when I first got it, and how much. It's actually funny if you look at it now. It's a lot different. I've done a lot to this bike, to say the least. I replaced the rear main seal. I replaced the rear end, well, the rear axle and ring gear assembly. That all had to be replaced. I stripped it out. I put bigger tires on it. It had 25s. I put 26s. And it had 10s in the front, or it had 8s in the front, 10s in the rear. I put 10s in the front, 12s in the rear, but I'm going to go back to the thinner tires. I find these tires are a little too big for this bike. But I jacked it up, both front and back. Jacked up the shocks almost all the way to the second last highest setting, because I heard it's better that way, not to jack them up all the way. Give yourself a little bit of leave room there. As you can see, I'm in the middle of doing some work. My skid plate here was all bent. I don't know if you guys will see it too well. You can't see it super well, but there's a big crack. There it is. Yeah, you can see that. Another one over here somewhere. Where am I? Right there. See, that weld's lifted a little. You can see that. That one there too. Anyways, they were cracked from plowing this winter, so I got a weld done back up. I was quite surprised. I managed to beat them straight with a sledgehammer. And my front bumper, well, if you know anything about these older Kodiaks, these front bumpers are garbage, and they're not made of pretty much anything. They're practically tinfoil. But this one, I've had to do a bunch of work to. I'll show you here. If you look closely, you can see my most recent work was I had to weld this one back on because it was broke completely off, and this one was about to break. So I welded that all around. These welds down here, over here and here, those are actually from the fall. I had to rebuild. If you look closely, that's all new metal there, a bunch of new metal there. My welds are garbage, I know, but you know, they're sticking the metal together. That's the important part. But I built this all out. There was literally pretty much no metal left. Like these holes were barely there, and you know, there's barely anything left of this. So that's why they're just covered in weld. But they're good and solid now. These irons here were broke off on both sides. That one, well, this one was still barely hanging on, but 3/4 broke off. So I got them back on. Of course, now they're all bent out of shape, so I'm going to have to straighten them to get them back on. My winch was falling off. That bolt right there That little bastard had fallen out and the hole was stripped. So I had to retap that hole and put a new bolt through. But at least now it's tight. My winch ain't going nowhere. These plastics aren't attached right now because I'm still working. I got some LED lights installed, but you can see they're not quite straight. So I got to do some minor adjustments there, get them fixed. And then I put the bar back on, put her all back together, and I'll be able to go driving again. If you saw at the start of the clip, there's another four-wheeler in here. This isn't mine. This is actually a friend's. It's been sitting for, I think, 7 years now. His father's been meaning to get to it, but his father had a bad motorcycle accident and then found out he had cancer and almost died. So he really isn't able to do this kind of thing anymore. So I said I'd do it. I just haven't got around to it yet. My buddy doesn't really have any money, so I have to put parts on, and parts cost money, and he has no money, so you know how that goes. But I'll probably end up, I think I'm going to get the parts myself and just fix it for him, because I know he wants it, and once it's fixed, he'll be a lot more motivated to pay me to fix it. But other than that, a lot's been going on, like I said. I'm getting messages, but that don't matter. Obviously, shit's been really crazy right now. I got the coronavirus stuff going on. I'm off work for 2 weeks because of it. You know, pretty much everything's shut down around here like everywhere else. One of the reasons I thought it would be a great idea to get one of these videos out, because, hey, you know, there ain't many videos, or, well, I don't have out any videos right now. I haven't put out any videos in almost a year. The fuck? What the fuck's wrong with me? But because of that, I figured, you know, at least some people will get to see them this time. And even if not, maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. Regardless, I did want to give a lot of you guys an update. I was going through my comments the other day, and I seen there's quite a few of you asking me where I've been. Am I dead in the ditch or whatnot? I am quite alive, you know, but there has been some dead in the ditch in my family, unfortunately. But he's in a better place now, and you know, there was a whole thing that went on with him since last October. He actually took a really bad fall, split his head open, worse than I've ever seen. He had like a gash like that big, literally on his skull, or to his skull. I could see his skull. I found him. He had been in his driveway. He had fallen first thing in the morning, smacked his head, and he had been crawling around his driveway all day. And this was like 5 o'clock at night. I found him. He was mildly, he wasn't mildly, he was hypothermic. He was bad in shock, and the trauma from the head injury, he couldn't walk, he couldn't function. He could barely talk. He thought he had had a stroke, and at the time, so did I. Well, he said 2 strokes. But after seeing what happened, it was actually 2 rocks. He had fallen, split his head really bad, and then actually managed to get up, and he fell again right on the same spot and split his head open even more. But that's what it looked like from what I seen anyways. I had to do a little, you know, investigation. But that's what his trail, like, you know, I could see where he initially hit a rock, and then from there I could see the marks from where he had been in the driveway. Anyways, he was never quite the same after that. He had lost some motor function. His cognitive abilities were not the best. His memory was getting worse. But it ended up, he had bad diabetes that we didn't know about, and he had an enlarged heart, which explains some of the problems he was having. But he ended up having a series of bad falls. That was the first of a few. He had one at work. That was his last day of work. He retired after that. But that sent him into the ambulance, into the hospital. I picked him up, brought him home. And then 2 weeks later, about a week before he passed, he took a really bad fall in his house. He had a black eye and stuff. And he was supposed to go on Wednesday to go see the doctor to see what the hell was wrong with him and try to get something fixed. And Monday night, Tuesday morning, whatever it was, is when he passed, unfortunately. So unfortunately, it was a little too late, but I think in a way it's probably for the best, because I think he was in for a real bad time. And right now, seeing what's going on, it's kind of lucky, because he'd probably be in and out of the hospital right now. And you know, that just wouldn't be good. And, you know, he'd probably get the COVID or something, and that would be even worse, you know. At least this way he got to kind of go out in a bang like he kind of wanted to do. But yeah, it's definitely been a whole experience for me. I've never really had to deal with anything like this, and of course it has to be one of the people that's the closest I've ever been to. But, you know, life goes on. You know, I'm definitely sad and I'll definitely miss him, but at the same time, you know, I'm not going to let it, you know, judge or dictate my life. That's what I was trying to say. I can use good words sometimes, guys. The odd time, you know, I get the good words. But anyways, like I said, I'm sorry for this to be a little dreary, but I just need to let you guys know what's going on, where I've been, and what's been going on with me, you know. Like I said, I've noticed a few guys of you have been looking for me and wondering what's going on. Well, that's a, you know, good quick update, and you can understand why I really haven't felt motivated to do many YouTube videos. And to be honest, even before his fall there in October, this has gone on for almost like more than 6 months, since last spring. Really, it's kind of been getting worse and worse. So you can see one of the reasons why I haven't been motivated to make YouTube videos is, you know, I'm too busy taking care of people. So, but now, you know, I got nothing but time on my hands. I don't have to work for another week at least. So, you know, I might actually end up, ew, is that a boogie? Oh man, did I do a whole video with a boogie in my nose? Oh man, what the fuck? Oh my. Anyways, if I put this up, peace out. So, for the record, it's not a boogie. It's a nose hair. See? Nose hairs. I need nose hair trimmers. Ah!